That means we're live.
What an interesting way to start the show.
Very interesting.
What is going on, everybody? Frank here for the Bakersfield Gentleman with my brother Miguel. You guys, we are here at Culebra's Lounge in Bakersfield, California, and just got a really cool Instagram post that we were tagged in, as well as a Facebook post. Yeah.
Yep.
From the PCA announcing us as one of the people that will be there covering for the media side of things next month. That was really cool. I wasn't expecting that, but it was a nice little shout out. They went ahead and linked our website, which I thought was pretty cool though. So we'll definitely have to keep up on that. You know what it is? It's the paint smell. It's messing with me.
Oh yeah. There's a paint shop next to us, and the fumes get a little strong sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a good day because of the reason you just said, and because we also have a lot of information for you guys today.
We do. As I said, you guys, we do have a list of the vendors that are going to be there. Some of them, obviously, we've heard of before. Some of them may be new to some of us. So we'll definitely have to check them out, and we'll have to talk to you guys about, which ones you guys want us to talk to, which ones you guys are interested to hear from. And at the same time, I'm still waiting to hear from you guys about the question. A few general knowledge questions or a few questions that you may have that would fit every vendor. So we want to get, maybe 4 to 5 questions that we could ask everybody to kind of make it more uniform. It doesn't have to be cigar related. It could be, just anything you want to know about, the manufacturers, the blenders, the makers, the personalities, whatever it may be.
Exactly. And Richard, how you doing? Good to see you. If you are watching, let us know that you are watching. Let us know. Say hello, and we will get a hold of you guys as this goes along. Jeff Adden checks in with what's up, gents. Just got done watching your show for Monday on YouTube. Frankie isn't smoking crack today. Probably not. I think, in fact, today, for those who can't see, because we're going to get this back on the podcast, luckily. Today, Frankie picked out the Emperor's Cut in Lancero. It looks like a nice, I'm guessing it's Connecticut shade wrapper. What is the proper name? Let me do this because it's on the wrapper. The EPNC Indulgence. Emperor's Cut, and Emperor's Cut NP Indulgence Lancero. There we go. Good name. Actually, I like that name. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little V cut. You went with the straight cut.
The NP is a Natural Pleasure, by the way.
Natural Pleasure.
Correct.
Which is right there underneath the Emperor's Cut on the, what is that, like a turquoise band?
Something like that, yeah.
A little darker than turquoise.
Seafoam green.
Seafoam. Sure, why not? Richard chime in with, how many cigars can you slip in your pockets from each vendor? None. Because they just hand them to you. You really don't have to. What do you call it? Dennis, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. Gosh, they got lost in train of thought. So Frankie's lighting up his first. As promised on Monday, guys, today we are talking a bit of tequila. We have a bottle on hand here, which is coming down to the end, which is the Tres Generations, I believe. Is it 3 generations? Yeah. 3 generations reposado.
How is it said?
Tres Generations.
That's not how it's.
Oh, then how is it then? Huh? What is it?
Well, I'm waiting for you to pronounce it correctly.
So go ahead. That's how I pronounce it.
So obviously Miguel can't even read Spanish when it's right in front of him.
What does it say then?
But it's okay.
Then what does it say? It
says your letter's out of fluid.
Out of fluid. So why'd you bring it over, huh? Jeez. Eduardo, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well.
So off the initial light of this guy, it has almost like a Kentucky Fire Cure taste to it, honestly. Very campfire-y, very smoky cigar. Very woody.
It is pretty campfire-y. I wouldn't say quite as much as the Kentucky Fire Cure. It's like a less ramped down version, or a toned down version, I guess. Ramped up, toned down. Let's see. Got a couple of questions in the comments. I guess we'll just go to them real quick. Eduardo says, what is that Lancero? It is the Emperor's Cut Natural Pleasures Lancero. And how much tobacco goes with tequila? Richard Nelton asks. So how much tobacco are you going to put in your cup before you pour in tequila in there?
About 3 shakes.
3 shakes of tobacco. Excellent. Robert Miller checking in. How you doing, brother? Good afternoon to you as well.
Yeah, so this tequila we purchased a while back. Not a while back, actually, like last month.
Yeah, not that long.
And we got it because we were making margaritas here at the club. And as you can tell, people here, they like their tequila. So it's on the low end of the levy there.
Now, this little factoid here doesn't really come from the research as much as more of like a tip. There is the largest tequila bar in Mexico, which one of the interviews that I was listening to doing some research for the show. And he actually brought up the point that we make about tequila needing its time, either when it's in the bottle and when the time is up for that. He actually says as long as it's more than half full, it should be okay at an indefinite range. The oxidation of letting more air into this bottle, so if it's half full or like this now, is when you start to get what they call agave water, which is where the fumes are allowed to escape the flavors, the alcohol will evaporate, and you're left with just a sweet water, basically. So it's not so much that there's a 6-month time period, there is a volume period. So if it's too low on the levy, it's time to invite some buddies over and finish it off, so you don't have to worry about that oxidation, that problem of losing all your flavor, and then just basically wasting your tequila. You can obviously put into a smaller bottle to kind of get rid of some of that extra air getting in contact with the tequila, but you don't. I don't know. I'd rather keep it in this bottle and just finish it off.
Yeah.
I've got a very long list of things to talk about. Obviously, agave starts in Mexico. It's grown there, and the agave we are talking about is blue agave, which when it was first turned into a fermented product, it was for the king, that 1% group of his high priestess, and then people who are going to be sacrificed in a drink called pulque. Pulque is basically that first step when you're making beer out of anything else. And then they figured out later on when the Spaniards got there and they ran out of their alcohol they brought, which was the wine, the cognac and whatnots. And they figured out, well, we can just distill their pulque into a more powerful drink. And everyone seemed to really like it. And that was vino de mezcal of tequila, which tequila comes from a mountain in Mexico, which is called Tucut. And that's basically where they got all the obsidian that they specifically used for ritual sacrifice. So this one mountain close to the Aztecs produced just the obsidian for human sacrifices. Now, that being said...
So it would be like Dragonstone because it sits on a mountain of dragonglass.
And you can use it to kill White Walkers. Yes, right. It absolutely does. And in this case... I'm not going to make that joke. That's a terrible joke. Do I do it? All right, you guys... I'm sorry ahead of time. You just kill brown walkers because these indigenous tribes are much darker than that. Right?
Wow.
Well, they killed a lot of people.
Those are your ancestors.
Okay, I'm just saying the Aztecs killed a lot of other people in Mexico, like a lot. Like we just saw the video of the skull walls and those. What would they call the round ones? The like towers.
Altars?
Well, no, it wasn't an altar.
Pillars.
Like a pillar of skulls. Yeah. So I'm not wrong. They were killing.
How are you making jokes about the French? They have that stuff in the underground tunnels.
That's different. They just didn't know where to put the bodies. They didn't kill them in particular. Like they didn't like, oh, we need to kill you to decorate our catacombs. They just threw them down there because there was no room. Anyway, so the Spanish distilled the first technical tequila, which was called vino de mezcal tequila, in 1621, which is on record. So we literally missed the 400-year anniversary last year of tequila, which is I'm a little sad about that.
Very sad to hear.
What do you call it? Let's see. Will you got the comments on me, or want me to read those?
I'm going to pull them up right now.
What do you call it? Robert says, well, you're pulling. I'm going to read these ones off. Robert says, really nice looking bottle. It is a really good reposado, which we will get into more of that fact in a little bit. Richard says, not sure why, but the bottle reminds me of the Stanley Cup. It's those lines. It's got to be those lines. It makes me think of that too. Jeff Fadden says, smoking a barber pole from Ruiz Cigars, and I'm drinking Macallan 12. That's going to be another topic very soon, getting into some nice aged whiskeys. And 12, I guess 12 isn't that long, but at the same time, it seems like a very long time to me. Eduardo, yes, no, hilarious. Thank you. I appreciate you laughing at that joke, or else I'd have felt horrible. Richard, what sacrifices are you making at PCA? Ooh, that's a whole other conversation. Mm-hmm. That would definitely have to get into. Ooh, that's nice. The cigar, by the way, I haven't yet poured into tequila. So we have the beginning stages of tequila. And then about 200 years later, in the 1800s, you have two families who are mass producing tequila. You have the Cuervo family and the Souza family, which are both still bottles you can see on the shelf today. Not quite in their original glory. I mean, Jose Cuervo is obviously known for its mixto, its gold and silver. Not exactly tequila, but is technically tequila. And it breaks a lot of the rules that the rest of the industry has to follow because it was given certain liberties, being older than everybody and being, a little more business oriented. Well, the Souza family was the first actually to export to the U.S., and they were the first to try to make tequila Mexico's own, the same way the French did for champagne. They wanted to do that ruling for Mexico for tequila. Makes a lot of sense, but that didn't come into effect until 1974. The Mexican government decided to protect their interest, and then a little bit later on, we will go into the safety measures and the quality control measures they take to this day, which are very interesting, and I think everyone will appreciate their tequila a little bit more after that. But the first thing we talked about, obviously, is the agave. Tequila is 100% pure blue agave. It is nothing else except for those little bit of breaks to the rules, which we'll discuss in a second. But it is harvested by the jimadores using their coja, which is basically a thinner, very sharp shovel, which they use to cut down these huge, almost cactus-looking plants. It takes 5 to 7 years to grow these things. So the amount of labor intensive just for that part speaks volume to how dedicated tequila is. There are 4 ways that you have to cook, or 4 different ways that you can cook your agave, before you can start the fermentation to the distillation to the aging and bottling. The first way is the brick oven, which is more traditional. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to do so.
Wow.
After that, they kind of got a little more modern. The pressure cooker was enacted, which can get it down to about 8 hours if they really want to. And it doesn't, for the knowledge everyone has, doesn't change the flavor profile. The other way is kind of a cold press situation where water is used to shove through the agave plant and remove the fibers. But a lot of larger tequila and tequila enthusiasts do not recommend this. I think it's a lower class of tequila. I believe they use the same kind of process in some whiskeys now, some bourbons. So maybe there is something to it. You don't have to completely knock it if you don't want to. Let's see how that tastes. We have to actually find, I think, tequila made that way and see if it does have a difference.
Yeah.
Now, the last way you can cook your agave beforehand is a deep pit style. Same way grandma would make lamb. But in this case...
Well, she did goat, but okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Goat. I apologize. You're so right. Basically, you're layering smoldering coals until you have a full pit in a volcanic shape where it kind of stacks to the top. And that is going to be another 24 to 32 hour period. It's like a day to day and a half. But those are only reserved for mezcals. And that's how mezcal gets its natural smoky flavors to it. Almost burnt. Well, if you put a worm in a fire, what happens? Happens the same thing happens to everything else. That's lightning, though. So we'll go into that another day. The fermentation process after this.
I'm not getting any comments, dude.
What are you talking about?
I'm like not being able to see any comments.
That's weird. Well, I see them right here. I apologize. Now I will read the comments off real quick. Richard, do you like salt with your tequila? No, don't need it. Nothing to say about
the whole salt and lime thing was brought on by people that did not like the harsh abrasiveness of tequila like Jose Cuervo. They think that that's what they need to make it palatable. And honestly, if you have a good quality tequila, you're going to appreciate that slight alcohol burn that you get, the warmth that you get as it goes down, and you're going to appreciate the flavor. By chilling it, by shaking it over ice, or by adding the lemon and the salt, or just a lemon or lime, you're diluting the flavor that you're going to get from the agave. And that's definitely not what you want to do. Several times we've been taking shots of tequila at a bar or something. And honestly, I won't do a shot. I'll sip on it. That's just the way I like to do it. We did that over at the tequila bar down at Universal. We each got a couple different tequilas. And the guy's like, "Oh, do you guys want lime and salt?" And I'm looking at him like, "This is a tequila bar, bro. You should know better. Yeah. Come on."
Well, it was a touristy spot. So I can understand, like, well, tourists are going to tourist, Yeah. That is city walk in a nutshell.
So when a lot of people say they don't like tequila, it's because they drank Jose Cuervo and had a bad experience.
Jose
Cuervo is what's known as a mixto. It's 51% actual tequila and 49% bullshit.
Can you not read off my pages here?
I don't. That's just knowledge I've always had.
Sure.
It's just sweeteners and other stuff in there, and that's the stuff that gives you that nasty headache. Is that other 49% of stuff?
It's bad.
So what you want to do is make sure you stick to a tequila that says on the bottle 100% de agave. If it does not say that, it can be a mixed up. If it says silver or gold or platinum, it's just a marketing thing. It needs to say 100% de agave. And of course, another thing you can always do is you can check the NOM number. That's the number that's going to be on every bottle. This one is 1102. You can look that up under the registry, and it'll tell you exactly which distillery it came from. That is on every bottle of tequila.
Every real bottle of tequila. After the cooking, you have the fermentation, which takes anywhere from 3 to 12 days. You don't have to add any yeast to this because there are natural yeast inside of agave. But if you do add it, it's just to speed up the process. And there's no change in flavor to speeding up the process. It's something that some of the larger people use just because they need to put out more product faster. Obviously, after fermentation, which is basically a pulque again, which is apparently still drank today. It's like a beer almost, which I don't know how I want to try it. I'm not going to lie. I want to try a pulque. But once you get to that point, there's distilling time. It's 2 times distilled. If you do it once, it's an ordinario, which is about 20%. The second time gets it to 50%. But tequila, by rule, by the CRT, which is the regulatory board, says tequila has to be between 38 to 40%. This is 40% right here. Above that is not tequila anymore. This is just a different spirit. It's a different spirit. It's not the same. By actual rules of the CRT, which is the nonprofit Mexican-backed tequila regulation board, you have to be between 38 and 40% alcohol by volume.
That's how much you are.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I will say this. I know there's a lot of people that are all, I only drink Patron. I only drink Patron. Why? It used to be really good when it was a smaller company.
Damn.
What?
I had because they bought the name, but the makers of the original Patron have their own company now that's on the market. I completely forgot to write that down.
You should have wrote that down.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend Patron money to get a quality tequila. It's a lot like cigars. There's really good tequilas at lower price points that you're gonna find. This wasn't that expensive. I think this was like $45 for this bottle. It's very, very good. I'm also a really big fan of Hornitos. I'm a big fan of Diamond Mount Tequila, which is up there on that bottle right
dark black
there.
And blue,
right
you got
right there.
Nice.
Again, that one is expensive. That one you're gonna spend, quite a bit of money on, but it's a very particular, very tasty tequila. And
good reason,
when we brought that bottle in for everybody to try, they could not believe that they were drinking tequila. They absolutely loved it. But just try a bunch of different ones, find out the kind that you like best, and then just stick with that.
Richard says, "What is your favorite tequila?" That probably is it right there. The Dami Mas is absolutely wonderful. And we'll get into how they make that while we go over these rules here. So once the distilling happens, you can literally pour your distilled tequila into a bottle, and boom, it's on the shelves. That's silver tequila, which can be aged from nothing to 3 months. The next
silver tequila, guys, is really good. With a cigar, in my opinion, I like them the best because it's not going to muddle any flavors that you're going to get from a really good cigar, but it's going to add a bit of spice and heat to what you're smoking. When you get up in the quality of tequilas, when you get into the reposados and the anejos, I don't want to mix the two because I really want to be able to enjoy the flavor of that tequila. So I am a fan. Oh, go ahead. I am a fan of a silver tequila with a cigar. Now you're not shooting it; you're just sipping it, and I think that's really good. Or you can make it into a Paloma, which is also fantastic. It has to do with a grapefruit soda, tequila, and some other stuff.
I love grapefruit, so it's really up my alley. I think you're more. Would you be more of a tequila sunrise guy over a Paloma? Or?
No, I like the carbonation you get from the Paloma.
I like that. All right. So, like we said, silver tequila or blanco, whatever you want to call it, is in that 0 to 3 months age range. Reposado is at 3 to 11-month age range. Which again, some of these interviews are saying reposado is actually the harder of the tequilas to make because you're actually trying to find that balance between age and the bite from the original out of the distill.
And one time it may take 4 months, one time it may take 7. You don't know. You got to keep trying them out.
Got to keep it going. So it's very not guesswork, but it's very detailed. Watch it carefully. But a lot of us also like very well aged things, which is why we go into the añejo, which is a 1 to 3 year age process.
Richard, no, I have not seen a bottle of it yet. I mean, I've seen them. I actually watched Ron White do a home tour of his house in LA when he was selling it because we went back to Texas, and he had his cigars on the table as well as his tequila bottles on the table. I've never been able to find it here in California, but I would definitely like to try it.
For those who might, Richard was saying, have you heard of or have you tried Number Juan tequila? That is Ron White's and his brother-in-law. I didn't realize his brother-in-law was involved in that as well because he always jokes about his brother-in-law being some rich hoity-toity guy. But you know what you need when you want to start a brand like that? You need a rich hoity-toity guy. So it makes sense. And I definitely want to try that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one is going into the extra añejo, which is anything from 3 years and above. That's when you get more into your like a nice brandy style, something that people think they can sip on, but you can obviously sip on a reposado no problem.
Yeah.
You can sip on a tequila no problem. I think it goes good with a meal.
Before a meal, it helps with activation of your salivary glands, and after a meal helps with digestion,
which is a great thing because it helps you break down the stuff. And tequila has no sugar added to your system. There are no carbs in tequila,
so it's keto friendly.
It is. It actually very much is. It's the safest to drink alcohol while on a diet, which is crazy to me, but it actually helps lower your insulin levels, which apparently helps with something. I don't know. I'm not a food scientist. There is the Cristalino, which is going to be your aged tequila, but then redistilled to remove the coloring. So it's a flavor with a white coloring or with a clear coloring, I guess, if you want, which was actually being done to a lot of whiskeys around the same time when Zima and vodka were really big, like the 90s, basically. When you see your Christian Bale being the American Psycho, they're drinking a lot of martinis and vodka drinks and sipping on their Zimas and punch each other sillies at the strip malls, all right? And the industries had to adapt. You had your, I think it was Dickel's White Lightning or something like that, which is I actually really liked it. It was very sweet, very corny, which I enjoyed.
You're very corny.
I'm a corny guy. But there are plenty of really good Cristalinos out there. You just don't see them as much anymore because people want the tradition. You want to see that coloring. And then, of course, as Frankie mentioned before, there is the mixtos, which is the last and the least. And just don't drink it. Just don't drink it.
Stay away from them.
The problem.
Another really cool thing that you can do is if you want to age tequila yourself, is they do sell aging kits as far as it's a small wooden keg. They usually do it for whiskey, but you can do that with tequila. You are going to get some of the woody notes that are going to transfer from the little mini keg to your bottle of tequila, but it'll take a regular size bottle. You pour it in this little mini keg, and you can leave it for, I think every month they said that you leave it in there is either 6 months to a year of aging because it's so compact.
I don't know how does that work though, because when you have the full size barrel, which is about 200 bottles, depending, I think that's the number for tequila. It has to be 200 or less. If it's bigger than that, it's some kind of rule about that as well.
Surface space.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because there's the center is not getting touched. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has lots of, because I mean, let's say that the keg is 5 inches, and all that tequila is touching except for the very, very middle,
which is very small.
And then let's say that the keg is maybe a yard, and so there could be a lot of tequila in the middle that's not really touching. It's like and expanding and contracting the wood. So it's a more concentrated aging process. They say don't leave it in more than I think like 3 months because it's just will really mess with the wood and it'll start to flake the wood and stuff. But yeah, definitely something you guys can definitely try if you want. I've been looking for one. I just can't find them anymore. They're really hard to find. So if you guys find one, let me know. I'd really like to give one a try.
GTO checking in. Good to see you.
How we doing?
That's an excellent point though about the barrels, because that's one of the other rules here. The aging process has to be in oak barrels. Does not have to be new ones. It doesn't have to be used from a certain area, like I believe Tennessee whiskey has to be done. It can be any oak barrels you want, which is how we get things like Nami Mas, which is finished in sherry cask barrels, or you have ones that are being finished in cognac barrels now. brand new barrels, bourbon barrels, and it will infuse those other flavors of these other alcohols into it, which is how you get such an array of different great tequilas. It's very wonderful to see that. The areas as far as where it's made, a lot of people have this idea that's just one spot in Mexico that can make it, when it's actually 5 regions, but focused on one in particular because it's the only state that the entire state spans the highlands and lowlands, which where agave grows, and that is Jalisco. Jalisco has the Richard said, "Dame más." Dame, we put that in. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
You got that in the comments. Cool. Jalisco has land from top to bottom where you can produce and bottle tequila, which one of the rules from the CRT is it must be produced and bottled in Mexico in one of those regions in order to be tequila.
And again, you can find out which one by plugging in the NOM number. The city of Temecula try to curtail this by making Temecula, which is basically they're taking blue agave and fermenting it themselves over in Temecula. And then the Mexican government said, "No, oh, no, you didn't," and made them stop.
Well, the only reason they did that is because they actually have a deal with the U.S. that you can sell bulk mixto and bottle it here. So that's why we have so much friggin' Jose Cuervo at such a cheap price. When a Tradicional from the same company, it's like $2 more a bottle, and worlds better. Worlds better. It's actually really good.
Yeah, and
tequila.
That's a good point because I don't tell people don't drink Jose Cuervo. I tell them don't drink Jose Cuervo Gold or Silver. The Tradicional that they make is very, very good in my opinion. I like it. I'm a big fan. I'll use that if we're gonna do shots, or if we're gonna do mixing it with something. If it's not something you're gonna just sip on to taste the flavor, I like that a lot. It's very, very good.
It is. It's very nice. And you could probably mix it too if you want. You can make a good margarita.
Mm-hmm.
The first margarita machine for frozen. This is something that you're not a big fan of, but it was actually in Texas. Along the border, and
seems like something one of those people from Texas would do. Oh, Richard!
It made over 30,000 gallons of frozen margaritas in the first year of production, and it is now sitting in the Smithsonian
for being a lie.
For being it's a very real drink. You can deny it.
Frozen margaritas are not.
It's
margaritas.
A real margarita.
They're not. They're not.
It's historically factual.
No,
and we have proof now that
it's like adding another word in front of a word to make it that word. It's like no. If it was that, you wouldn't need that other word.
It's an oxymoron.
So a frozen margarita is not a real margarita.
Yeah, it is.
A margarita is on the rocks.
Fine, it's a frozen daisy. How about that?
Okay.
That's what margarita is, just a daisy, which is actually what it was called originally. And they're like, no, we want to make it sound more tequila friendly because people were like, oh, well, a daisy, tequila. No, we're going to use whatever alcohol we want. Margarita. That's why the name became so synonymous with tequila because they're trying to mix in whiskey with this. It's not that. This is ours.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where is my last? So we got into the regions, and that kind of wraps up the from history to production to regulation.
Now that's all that's left is them go out and do some consumption.
That's 100% true. And actually, that's my last little fact here. The number one tequila drinking nation in the world, and 90% of the buying power is the U.S.
Oh, I was going to take a guess.
What were you going to say?
Sweden.
You're very close for number 3. Number 2 is Mexico. What do you think number 3 is? You're in the right continent.
Denmark. Norway.
A little less Scandinavian, but still European.
Germany?
No.
Would be France.
You're closer with the G's.
Georgia?
Georgia? Like the Middle East?
Yeah.
Or Georgia the state?
No, the country.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's a G. Greenland? What other countries start with a G in Europe?
Greece?
Oh, that's Mediterranean.
That's in
that
Europe. That's
count.
all Europe.
That doesn't count. That's Mediterranean. You
Anyway.
said that. Really?
Anyway, they are the 3rd largest consumers.
But they have ouzo.
I guess they taste pretty similar, or they like a little more bite from tequila.
I'm going to try ouzo. I've never tried it before. Okay. I thought it was sweet, but okay.
It probably is.
Interesting.
It probably is. It's one's sweet, one's a little spicier. You got to admit, tequila's got a little bit of that fire to it.
See, Jeff knows what Jeff is a good man. Margarita on the rocks with good tequila all day long. That's a good man.
Nothing wrong with that. Totally agree with that.
And not to brag, guys. Not to brag. Miguel can vouch for this. I make a damn good margarita.
Yeah, but the frozen ones are better.
No, they are not.
It's whatever. It's fine. He tries his
And if you
best.
guys don't, I'll give you guys my quick little ingredients list here for. Obviously, you can use good tequila.
Yeah.
I do like to rim it half with the kosher salt.
Then he gets the party pack mixer and he just pours it in.
Oh,
Boom,
absolutely.
done.
No, fresh lime juice has to be fresh, guys. If it's not fresh, it's just not gonna taste the same. I like to use Cointreau, but you guys can use triple sec if you need to. What's the other one? There's another one. Dang it, Grand Marnier. You guys use Grand Marnier if you guys want to go more expensive, which is also very good. But I do add a little bit of agave nectar to it. It's very good. It helps out with the flavor quite a bit, and it's fantastic.
Now, Richard asks, how many margaritas are you going to make at Frightmare next year?
I mean, technically, I could make them all day long. I mean, we just get the stuff, and I can have it in the hotel, and we can make them all day long.
And Jeff says, I also have never gotten a head freeze from a margarita on the rocks. Well, I'm not pounding my frozen margaritas. It's something I'm sitting in the pool, on my floaty, usually a duck perhaps.
We all have to have our goals. Come on.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. What else? Que horas, the tequila. Que ondas. Oh, sorry. My eyes are terrible. Que ondas. The tequila sold in Costco. The Aneo is pretty good to me.
Yes, that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that Costco, their brand, their Kirkland brand stuff is actually very, very good quality of alcohol. I'm not just talking tequila. Their vodka is actually very good. It's gotten a lot of medals. Their Canadian whiskey, I believe, has won a lot of awards. Their Scotch has won some awards.
The craft beers have.
Their craft beers have. So, I mean, don't sleep on it, guys. A lot of this stuff is made in the same place where some of the stuff that you really like is also made, and it just has the Kirkland name on it.
Try it out.
And another thing about it that's really good is they have their Kirkland light beers and other Kirkland liquors that they sell. We were able to take a couple $100 and make the party last a couple of days. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Band.
Oh, you wanted the band. It's a 10.
But yeah, don't sleep on that Kirkland stuff, you guys. It's actually very, very good, and it's a nice way to stock up your home bar. If you're light on cash and you want to get some bottles, but you don't have money for the super expensive stuff, grab some of that Kirkland stuff, guys. You will not be disappointed.
We call it. Just to let you know, the Kirkland Light beer tastes like Natty Light.
Oh, it absolutely does. But I mean, you get a lot of it.
You're not looking at some kind of award winner there, but it's volume of how many beers you get. I think it was like a 48 pack for it was $25 at the time.
Really cheap. It was really cheap.
It's like 50 cents a can. Like I'd have to pay more for the Diet Coke if I went over a couple aisles. It was crazy. I go to Specs. Richard says I go to Specs. I don't think what's Specs?
Must be a Texas thing.
Let us know in the comments. He also says that Natty Light blows. Not my favorite.
No,
not my favorite. But yeah, that's going to be our tequila talk for today. Thought you guys might get a kick out of that. I sure did, because it's one of those alcohols I don't think gets enough attention. And I really do. I think you had a great idea with Tequila Tuesdays.
Well, I will say this. When we were at Texas Frightmare last year, I got whiskey, I got vodka, got tequila, I got Jaeger, and I think that was it. Oh, I got a little bit Hypnotic too.
A little bit.
After the Jaeger, because Jaeger went first, it was the tequila that went second. I thought it would have been the whiskey or the vodka would have been the most popular, but no, it was the Jaeger and the tequila. So I know next year when we go in May, that is going to be the bottle we get more of.
You know what it is, though? It's because we got one that's at 100% pure agave. It's at a good price point. I think it was like $30 for a handle of it, which is ridiculous. You're going to make yourself sick. Careful when you're drinking that. But it was a very smooth, very nice silver of all things. They didn't have that much pepper bite to it. And I think people are so used to let me go ahead and try this Jose Cuervo again. Maybe it won't make me sick this time. And when you try a better one, it's going to go like that. It's going to be completely gone off the shelves. And if more people just got away from those, 51-49 ratios, they'd be a lot happier with tequila. The only thing is, especially right now with shipping, cost of gas, manual labor, because this is a very labor-intensive product, just like the cigar industry. A lot of it is handmade still. The machines are there, but a lot of it's still taken care in the fields. Again, 7 years worth of field work just to get to the point where you can start doing the other stuff. So the price of tequila should never be that low. There is a luxury tax in that of just the effort and the detail that goes into it. So if you're really wanting tequila, don't be afraid of that $50 bottle. Just because you had that bad experience with the really cheap stuff, you're going to have so much better time with that at least decent mid-range price and even a higher end one. Or if you're just sipping on it once in a while, it's meant to be sipped on the same way as your cognac, the same way as a good sherry. It's meant to be sipped on.
Good stuff. No, go ahead.
We got to talk about the cigar though.
Oh yeah.
Emperor's Cut. This is the Lancero, the Natural Pleasures. It's smoking very well for me. It's light. It's actually going very well with tequila right now, which usually I wouldn't do a lighter wrapper like this with tequila because you got a little more pepperiness from this, and then you got your pepper from over here. But this reposado is very smooth. So together, it's a winner in my book.
For whatever reason, the tobacco is actually bringing out a lot of extra flavors in here as far as it's intensifying for me the citrus that you're getting out of it.
That's an excellent point. I think, citrus notes are very much there. I think you might be dead on. I think that's what's doing it. Jeff, okay, switching over to Casamigos Tequila. I like where your head's at. Leo joining us. Leo, good to see you too, brother. Hope your day's going well. It's very good over here. And Richard said, Specs is a liquor store with liquor, cigars, and some groceries. I like that term when it's liquor, cigars, a couple of groceries over there. You really want to focus on your liquor and cigars, all right?
And by groceries, it means maraschino cherries.
Hot Pockets.
What are those little...
like the olives
the
and stuff?
Olives and the little onions, pearl onions.
Pearl onions.
Yeah, that's what he means by that. Lemons and limes.
Boom. That's enough groceries for everybody out there, all right?
Now, I do have a list here of vendors that are going to be at the PCA this year. And a couple of them that have already caught my eye. Obviously, you have some of the bigger names there, Fuente and whatnot, Ballard Bradley. But Aganorsa. Apostate Cigars is one that definitely caught my eye. One we're going to have to take a look at. We're going to revisit Casa 1910. Talk to them a bit more. We already said they were going to talk to Cavalier. Let's see, who else do we have here? Family by Loyalty. Obviously, got to talk to them again. Let's see here. Who else we got? I mean, there's just a long list here, guys, of different people that are going to be there. Gran Habano Cigars. Definitely want to talk to them. They said they were bringing back the Gran Azteca.
Ooh.
I have yet to see it come back, so I'd like to talk to them a bit more and see what the deal is with that.
Give it time, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Lug Cigar Club will be there with Jay London and Steel Horse Cigars, so obviously talk to them about that.
It's a good trio right there.
Let's see what else here do we have here that's catching my eye. Definitely talk to Room 101 about the new merger or buyout, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I would love to hear more from Booth about that. And
Stolen Thrones.
Great stuff.
Toscano has a new cigar coming out.
I think you talked about it off the air with me a little bit.
Yeah, it's a Kentucky Fire Cure.
That's exciting for me.
Wildfire Cigar. Go talk to Jeremy over there.
Eduardo, talk to you soon, brother. He has to get going.
But yeah, so there's just a bunch of companies that we're definitely going to get a hold of and talk to about some more cigar stuff coming up in the future. But of course, you guys, we're still looking for questions that you would like to be asked as a blanket question for all of the people that we talk to. So if you guys have any of those, you guys always feel free to message us, and we can get that on the list of questions that we will be asking.
100%. And there's one, I wanted one specific question you think they can answer in 30 seconds or less. And it's just one question to ask all of the brand owners so we can hear their same answer and what differentiates them from other brands.
Yeah.
And the question in my mind that first popped up was, what's one fact that they would like the entire consumer base of cigars to know? And that could be anything that they want to share in there.
Well, I mean, for most of them, I think the answer would always be the same. I don't think there's a lot of difference. I mean, if they want the consumer to know one thing,
their cigars.
No. It's not even about their cigars. It would be that they should know that I have the more refined palate.
That they have them because it's them answering the question.
They would say Frankie has the more refined palate
than
you.
Then sure. That's exactly what I think they would all say. Could not forget that one bit. Richard, what is the cigar that made you get into the cigar business?
Again, that would be the same thing. It'd be the same answer. They said, I did not know it yet, but California Dreaming Volume 1 is what got me into the cigar business.
Volume 2 got me into it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we got to show off the band soon. So I'm so excited.
Soon enough.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This time I came up with it.
Yeah, you did. I just put it. I got the legwork in there, but I was very excited when you like told me your idea, and then I was like, "What you mean like this?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's exactly what I meant." And it's like, boom, we're gonna do that. So 100% excited for that. I hope you guys will like it too. As we get closer to PCA, we'll have more information on that as well. But we really do have to focus as well on these interviews coming up because we will
So we
have
fudged up with TPE.
we got robbed, and that's not even like figuratively. It's literal.
Yeah, I was on Twitch last night. I've been on the Twitch kick, guys. I really want to get back into it, smoke cigars and playing video games. And of course, if you guys do it, smoke or play video games too, I invite you to play with me online on Twitch. But there was this girl, very pretty girl, obviously, and she was playing Call of Duty multiplayer, and she had a little donation thing at the bottom. It says, "I'm trying to raise $2,000," and there's a little text on the side.
Frankie sent her too.
Trying to get her a new computer. I need to upgrade. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I get it.
And she's like, "This is why it's so much." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So I donated $25 to her, and she's very grateful. She's like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "That's cool. I know what it's like." And I told her, I was like, we have a studio. It was robbed. They stole our computer, our laptops, our cameras, all the things. She's like, "Oh my god, let me give you your money back." I was like, "No, it's cool."
Oh, shit, you did it too. Oh, what
like,
is her Twitch? Find it real quick. Find it real quick. We got to share that. That was really nice. It's really cool to see how many of these streamers, like even the not so big ones, are really gracious about what they get. And I try my best to be as gracious as we can with this. I want you guys to know how much we love the support you guys give us, whether it is monetarily or it is sharing and liking and subscribing. It all helps. We want you guys to know, we can't do this without your guys' help. Leo says, California Dreamin' cigars are great. I really love the Pariah Noir cigars a lot also. Thank you. Really appreciate that. He sent her money. Richard says she sent the... Oh, my goodness. And GTO 100%. Would love to see you out here. We definitely will make that happen one of these days. It's got to. It's absolutely got to.
I got to go through it. Her name is Lucy.
Lucy?
Yeah, I just don't remember what the actual gamer tag was.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's all good.
Yeah. Man, I wish I knew. I forgot what it was.
That's right. But nonetheless, obviously we want to spread the love a little bit, support other streamers and whatnot. There's a lot of really good ones in the cigar industry. And if we get into the gamings again, I would love to collaborate with some of those people as well.
Yeah. If I find it, I'll tag her in something. If you guys want to help her out too.
Just give it a view, see if you get some time to kill, check out what they're doing. Now, is she cursing at the game at least when she loses?
No, actually, if you want someone that curses at the game, let me find hers. I know hers. Hold on. Skull Full Daily 69. She's an older lady, nice. But she's awesome. And I was like, oh man, you guys are kicking there. And then I put asterisk. She's like, oh no, you can say that shit here. We don't give a fuck. And I was like, oh, boom. Okay.
I like her. See, that's the kind of streamer I like. Video games, you should be able to curse at as much as you want, okay? It's a stress-relieving situation. You're not playing it for the betterment of the world. You're playing it for the betterment of your day. And if you can release some of that anger and that pent-up frustration you have from work or family or whatever it might be bothering you, cuss at that game. Because it doesn't matter. It's a video game. Go ahead and curse at them.
Yeah, but the way I found the people that I follow on here is I went to people that had 0 or only 1 follower. And I would only click on them if they had their camera showing who they were so I could talk to them.
Yeah.
And I would say something like, oh, hey, how's it going? And if they responded, I would keep talking.
Check it out.
And then I would give them a follow.
Nice. I like that. Those are the people who want to do it, though,
Yeah.
They're showing their faces. They're being interactive. But that beginning for everybody is always going to be the same. Very slow, very difficult. No one's really watching it the first couple. And then you build up from there.
Yeah.
But other than that, obviously, his Emperor's Cut is going very well. It's a great Lancero. I'm a little more than halfway done now. We don't really have to talk about just yet because, you just almost finished this episode of the Mayans, which was pretty dang good. I was a little upset with some of it, but, happens. The last episode of The Offer was really great. And we didn't talk about The Boys, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
My God. If you guys aren't keeping up with The Boys, get on Amazon Prime ASAP. It is a phenomenal show. Start from season 1. Don't watch any of season 3 until you get through 1 and 2 because it is worth the watch.
I found it. It's the _black_widow.
Damn, how did she get that one?
Don't know.
That's excellent. Good work for her.
That's her.
All right. The_black_widow. Nice. But they also have The Boys Diabolical, which is a short series. It's animated, kind of like Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, but
Another great show.
But it's just set in the Boys universe. So they talk about like Homelander, and they talk about the Seven from time to time. Butcher and the group, the Boys will show up, but a lot of the times it's focused on stories that aren't connected.
I want to see a thing about Black Noir.
I believe there is one. I just haven't seen them all yet because they're pretty hilarious. Most of them are more on the funny side, and they get really good. Kumail Nanjiani does a voice for one. Aquafina wrote, directed, and starred in one of them, or voice acted in one of them. That one's all about poo, by the way. So if anyone wants to know, she got poo powers. Definitely recommend that one. The Boys, obviously, really good. Then you have The Offer over on Paramount Plus, which is kind of coming to its conclusion. The movie is done. They showed it to the mobsters. Obviously, you guys know how that ends because The Godfather is a huge success, but it's the story of how it became a huge success, the trials and the difficulties, and the people rooting against it or rooting for it that really makes that story come to life. And it's definitely one of my favorite new series. Probably not going to see a season 2 to that, but
I doubt it.
That's okay in my book because I think it deserves that one and done. It's a very detailed story that was better told as a series than a movie. And that's very rare for me to say because I think movies are better. I prefer that hour and a half to 2 hour format where you're not just throwing everything you can at it because you have 30 to 45-minute episodes to go through. But this one really took all of its time, all of its runtime, and told a very good story. So if you haven't seen The Offer, go on to Paramount Plus and check that out. You can also check out all the Godfathers on there as well, so you can see exactly what they're talking about throughout the first Godfather and the series, The Offer. Wonderful stuff. What else? Have not had a chance to watch Jurassic Park Dominion yet. Jurassic World Dominion.
Not yet.
What is the Mayans, The Boys, The Offer? I still feel like there's one more I'm missing, but we'll get into that another time. Guys, for today, I think that's going to wrap it for us. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yep.
If there's any other vendors or manufacturers you want to see us talk to over at PCA, let us know in the comments. Let us know on Friday when we're back with you guys at 2:00, and we'll make sure to get them all on the roster. Cannot wait to be back over there. Richard, still waiting for the new Beavis and Butthead movie. Oh, that's also going to be hilarious. My God. But yeah, once that's out, we'll have to talk about that as well.
Definitely.
And then that's going to do it.
That'll do it for us, guys. We will see you guys on Friday. You all have a good one. We will see you then.
Jeff, you have a great one. Thank you.